Good morning.
And Deputy Plenty, I assume your name is still spelled the same as it was a few days ago?
Correct.
You previously testified that you were a deputy. Are you also a member of the crime scene unit?
That's correct as well.
Have you gone through any trainings in order to become a member of the crime scene unit?
Correct. I've attended a basic evidence technician school and other additional training for more specific areas of expertise in being part of the crime scene unit.
Okay. And could you just briefly list a few of those topics for the jury that you've had trainings on?
It would include, but not limited to, collection of DNA with a buccal swab, shooting reconstruction school, blood splatter school, things of that nature as well, in addition to the basic evidence technician school that I've attended.
And how long have you been a member of the crime scene unit?
Since 2012.
Okay. And Deputy, I'm going to approach you with a series of photographs, exhibits 168 through 172. Then there's exhibits 544 and 545, as well as exhibits 345 through 358. Could you please look through exhibits 168 through 172, 544, and 545? Individually at this time, but as a group, how would you describe exhibits 168 through 172, and then 545 and 544?
In general, they are pictures of the bin that was recovered on the property in the township of Cottage Grove. To include, some of the pictures will show a gray in color tarp that is positioned inside of the bin as well.
And do all these photographs appear to be true and accurate?
Correct.
I would move 168 through 172 into evidence, and then 544 and 545 into evidence at this time.
No objection.
They are received.
And just for simplicity's sake, could you please look at 345 through 358?
Photos were during a search and collection of footwear that was located at the property in the village of Windsor.
Okay. Do they all appear to be true and accurate depictions of what you observed?
Correct.
I would move 345 through 358 into evidence at this time.
No objection.
They are received.
All right. Deputy, if you would look at the little screen in front of you there. Could you please describe, it says exhibit 50, but I know it's exhibit 150.
From this picture, but it's Rubbermaid brand trash bin. It stands probably approximately 3.5 to 4 feet high, and it has a gray or silver colored tarp that was positioned in the inside of it. It's in a wooded area, approximately it was 10 yards within the wood line on that property.
169, how would you describe 169?
So what we have here is the same location, photograph of the same location. The only difference is that the bin with the tarp inside has been removed. It shows the vegetation that was underneath of the bin is still green and lush.
Why is that significant?
If the bin had been there for a significant amount of time, not allowing that vegetation to receive sunlight, then it would turn yellow, brown, and perhaps die.
Exhibit 170, what is Exhibit 170? Display.
170 is a look into that same bin that I've mentioned already. It includes that tarp that I've previously mentioned, and it has adhered to the side of the bin a yellow piece of what appeared to be yellow duct tape.
And Deputy, if you would just turn your head towards the big screen, I'm going to use the laser pointer. Is this the item that you are calling yellow duct tape?
Correct.
Okay, and for the record, that is slightly lower than middle and slightly to the right on Exhibit 170.
That seems accurate.
Exhibit 171. Another picture of the garbage bin with the tarp and tape.
Correct.
All right. What is Exhibit, oh, I'm sorry, this has the wrong numbers on it, 544 display? You can look on your screen.
So what is this exhibit?
Yes.
Was your question?
Yes.
It is the same Rubbermaid bin that was recovered from just inside the woods. It also has the tarp that was included with that.
No, sorry, that is actually 172. I apologize. Judge, can we switch to the Elmo?
Certainly.
And I believe this will also be on the screen in front of you. Deputy, this is Exhibit 544. How would you describe Exhibit 544?
Again, this is the Rubbermaid bin, and it shows another view angle of the yellow duct tape that was inside of that bin.
And in Exhibit 544, I would describe the duct tape as slightly lower than middle and slightly to the left. Does that appear to be accurate?
Correct.
Okay. And 545. Just a crime lab view of the bin.
Side view of the Rubbermaid bin.
If we could go back to the PowerPoint. And Deputy, this part might be easier if you're actually willing to come down off the witness stand, if that's okay with the judge.
Yes,
We're just
of
going to
course.
look at the stickers.
Just be sure and speak loudly so that everybody can hear.
Can you look at the stickers as to Exhibit 174? Can you, your offices?
So it'd be this one up here. So,
And what is Exhibit 174?
item 174 is listed as a black rolling garbage bin with tarp.
And I'm not going to open up Exhibit 174, but that is the garbage bin that we've been looking at pictures in pictures 172 and such. Okay. So please sit down. And Deputy, did you, in collecting the garbage bin, did you remove the tarp from the garbage bin?
We did not.
Why didn't you do that?
We did not want to disturb the positioning of the tarp inside and also, or disturb any evidence significant to the tarp being inside of the trash can, the bin. We also knew that, or we had talked about sending it to the state crime lab for testing and.
And in fact, it was submitted to the Wisconsin State Crime Lab.
Correct.
All right, we're going to shift gears here. You are also part of the 4595 Oak Springs Circle search, part of the crime scene unit there. Exhibit 345. What is an Exhibit 345?
345 is, like previously mentioned, a fair amount of footwear that was located in the garage.
Okay. Peeking back there, do you go and search that area back behind the shelving unit?
Correct. So the shoes that are on this, what appears to be a rubber mat, I had pulled that mat back towards myself and was able to retrieve what was a pair of shoes that were underneath the shelving unit.
546, another view of the mini shoes.
Correct.
And in this photo, 546, there appears to be some floral shoes at the top. Where were those floral shoes located?
So they were located underneath the shelving unit. In the previous photo, that black type mat that the shoes are resting on was forward towards the shelving unit. I had pulled that back in order to have access to these other pair of shoes.
So the mat was, in 545, the mat is up against the shelving unit.
Slightly under, correct.
And is
yeah.
that the floral shoes kind of peeking out there? Hidden?
Correct, that was the pair of shoes that I had pulled out from underneath
All right.
and now are present in this photo.
347, what is displayed in photo 347?
347, it's the shoes that were located in front of the shelving unit, as well as the other pair that were positioned underneath the shelving unit as well.
And why did shoes become important in this case?
The state crime lab had advised that there were footwear patterns on tarps that were located during this investigation. So they wanted to have the footwear from the residents collected and photographed to document footwear patterns and types of shoes that were in the residence.
And Exhibit 354, what is Exhibit 354 a picture of?
These are Brooks brand shoes. Model would be Launch 5 athletic shoes.
355?
It's the same footwear, just with one of them turned upside down to display the footwear pattern.
And in 355, the shoe that is turned upside down, there appears to be twigs or grass or something in the
There's some
footbed.
organic debris on there, yeah.
Okay. 356, what is 356 a picture of?
So that is the same shoe that was in the previous slide that was turned upside down. What we see in that, the left side line that runs up and down, there's a reddish brown stain towards the bottom of that line in the footwear tread.
So I'm using my laser pointer to highlight. It appears to be almost smack dab middle in the photo.
Correct.
And what does 357 show?
Again, shows the same shoe that's turned upside down, but here this shows the toe area, the tip of the toe area, and there's red staining as well on that.
358, what does Exhibit 358 show?
358 shows both shoes that are resting on the sole, and it shows the shoe, which is on the right side, has red staining on the tongue, on the N of the launch word has a reddish brown stain on it.
And there should be some gloves up there if you want to glove up. Also should be some scissors and an X-Acto knife. I'm going to show you, Deputy, what has been marked as Exhibit 359. Could you please open up Exhibit 359 and just verbally say what is inside? And verbally, how would you identify Exhibit 359?
So these are the footwear, the Brooks Launch 5 footwear that I located.
Right. And do they appear to be in the same or substantially the same condition as when you collected them?
The same condition.
Okay. At this time, I would move Exhibit 359 into evidence.
No objection.
They are received.
Okay. All right, I'm just going to have you walk them in front of the jury, just back and forth. Thank you, Deputy. If you want to try to put them back in there. That's pretty good. And of course, the staining on those shoes was swabbed by the crime lab?
Correct.
Okay. All right, you can go ahead and get rid of your gloves. Now I'm going to show you Exhibit 348. What is Exhibit 348?
348 is the right shoe of the shoes that were located underneath of the shelving unit. You can see the left shoe is at the top of the picture. Inside of this right shoe, there's this foil wrapped item.
Okay. I'm only going to hold the bag, so I will let you glove up and open up 390. And I think removing one is fine. They're just a matching set. And is Exhibit 390 the same or in substantially the same condition as when you collected it from the 4595 Oak Spring Circle address?
It is, yeah.
Could you please just walk that shoe back and forth in front of the jury? Okay, and feel free to put that back in the bag.
I don't think we moved that one into evidence.
Oh, I'm sorry. I moved 390 into evidence at
Any
this time.
objection?
No objection.
It is received.
Okay. And what does Exhibit 349 show?
So the previous slide showed a item that was wrapped in foil. This is then myself opening this foil wrapped item. What we see here is a sheet of paper towel that is wrapped around the contents. We can see a portion of a photo Wisconsin driver's license, and just beyond that is the black item is a cell phone.
And in the process of searching and collecting evidence, did you in fact collect the foil and the paper towel as you described displayed in Exhibit 349?
Correct.
And I'm not going to have you open these if you can identify them from your office's stickers. 388, how would you describe 388?
388 is the paper towel sheet that is in the photo.
And I see JP, those are your initials, you
Correct.
collected it? And Exhibit 389, what is Exhibit 389?
And 389 is the foil sheet that was used to wrap the contents, and there's my initials on this as well.
All right, I would move 388 and 389 into evidence at this time.
No objection.
They are received.
And Deputy, do you continue to unwrap this evidentiary present?
I continue to unwrap it, correct.
And what does Exhibit 350 display?
So what we see here, we can still see the foil sheet, we can still see the paper towel sheet. We can see now Bart Halderson's Wisconsin issued photo driver's license, and we can see the Apple iPhone that is located underneath the driver's license.
What does 351 display?
So 351 is the top phone, the black phone that we saw in the last picture. It is now, along with the driver's license, simply just turned over. And we can see Krista's Wisconsin driver's license and an additional phone.
So both phones and driver's license were wrapped together in the same packaging?
Correct.
Could you please describe 352?
Again, it's the foil, it's the paper towel sheet, it's the two phones. Bart's driver's license is not visible. It's on the underside of the left phone. We can see Krista's driver's license resting on top of the phone on the right side.
And 353.
And this would be Krista's Wisconsin driver's license and a phone located underneath of that.
And I don't think you need to glove up. I'm not going to ask you to open up any of these items. I'm actually going to have you sit down so we can hear you nice and clearly. Exhibit 387, how would you describe Exhibit 387?
It is a photo Wisconsin driver's license that's been issued to Christina Halderson.
And has your nice initials on there?
That's correct.
And it appears to be in the same condition as when you collected it?
It does.
I would move Exhibit 387 into evidence.
No objection.
It is received.
Exhibit 386, how would you describe Exhibit 386?
Photo Wisconsin driver's license that's been issued to Bart Halderson, and it does have my initials on it and in the same condition.
Okay, I would move Exhibit 386 into evidence at this time,
No objection.
It is received.
and 384 and 385. Could you please describe 384 and 385?
384 is iPhone that was located in the foil packaging. It has my initials on it, and while it's packaged, I would believe it's in the same condition as when I had recovered it. And 385 is a white iPhone, which was in the pictures that were previously shown. Again, my initials are on it, and I would imagine it is in the same condition as when I had recovered that one.
And these are the phones that were wrapped in the paper towel, wrapped in the foil, hidden in a shoe, hidden under a shelf.
Correct.
I would move 385 and 384 into evidence at this time.
No objection.
They are received.
Deputy, in the course of this investigation, were you asked to take a buckle sample from Chandler Halderson in compliance with a search warrant?
Correct.
And did you in fact do that?
I did.
Could you please do you see Mr. Halderson in the courtroom today?
I do.
Just so that we're consistent with our record, I'd ask everyone who's not in the jury box to lower their mask briefly so that the witness can observe every face. Thank you. Go ahead and replace your masks.
Do you see Mr. Halderson?
I do.
Could you please identify him by where he's seated and perhaps the color of his shirt?
He is seated at the defense table. The shirt is perhaps a lavender type color.
I would.
This is swabbing of inside of the mouth. So we're collecting a DNA sample from that area.
And does it come in a kit, or what tools do you use?
It comes in an envelope which includes 2 swabs to administer the test.
And you've had training on this procedure?
Correct.
I'm going to show you what has been marked as Exhibit 360. I'm not going to ask you to open it, but could you please identify Exhibit 360?
It is the buccal swabs that I had collected from Mr. Halderson. It is initialed by myself as well.
All right, at this time I would move Exhibit 360 into evidence.
No objection.
It's received.
No further questions.
Cross-examination.
Yes, thank you. Deputy Plenty, this was your first time in the Halderson household, correct?
I'm sorry, what's that question?
This was your first time being in the Halderson household, correct?
In the Halderson house?
Yes.
This incident, correct.
So prior to this incident, you've never been in the home?
Correct.
You wouldn't know where exactly all shoes in the household are located, correct?
By the end of the search, we had gone through the house pretty thoroughly, and I had located or had pointed out to me the shoes that were located in the house.
So by the end of the search, you were very familiar where all the shoes in the home were located, correct?
Correct.
But you don't necessarily know if that's where they were located.
Know where they're commonly located.
And it looks like as far as all of the shoes, there were a couple of shoes that were located or we saw in those photographs, correct?
There were several shoes, correct.
And it looks like only one pair of shoes had any kind stains. Does that sound about right?
I don't recall the exact number, but I can think of 3 stains that were on the shoes, correct?
And the shoes, would you identify them or would you describe them as being worn? They were worn shoes.
Correct.
It's obvious that they were used regularly, correct?
They've been used, yes.
And there was even some debris located on the bottom of the shoes as well, correct?
Correct.
I have no further questions for you. Thank you.
Any redirect?
No, Your Honor.
May this witness be excused?
He may.
Thank you, sir. Have a good remainder of your day.